Okay, we are here with our daily chat with ETBU head football coach Mark Sartain. Coach, we're going to continue our preseason preview position by position look today. We're going to look at some the linebackers. Obviously, another big advantage for you guys. You have your two starters from last year back, senior John Chitty and junior Jordan Hayes. Talk about those two guys for a minute, and then we'll go into the depth part of that.
Well, feel like those two guys are pivotal in our, level of success for defense this year. Their leadership, their enthusiasm, their energy. They play a reckless and wide open game, and that's contagious to those around them. So we're excited about that duo and their ability. They're very athletic. They're very physical. They're very emotional, and you need linebackers that are your emotional leaders. You need the high energy guys in there, and we're excited about those guys. John's a senior, and Jordan's a junior, and they've got multiple games under their belt, and none of this will be new to them. They came in good shape. They came in really setting the pace, for us on defense. So they've both been a little nicked up over the last couple of weeks. Well, the last 7 to 10 days. Missed a little time during camp with just some nagging things, but they've recovered. They were back in full gear yesterday, practicing, preparing for this week's scrimmage.
Chitty is basically a 3-year starter. This will be his 4th season here with us, but he's obviously a key part of the defense. Last year's leading tackler on the defense. How key is it going to be for this defense, at least early on, to have guys like him back there in terms of that experience factor, you think?
Well, you want guys that have been there and done that, and of course we're in a somewhat of a transition still to Coach Pippen's scheme, and so it's critical that communication is effective, and usually the older guys who've been around a while and understand a little bit more and can take a little bit more, proactive role in communicating things to their teammates. It's always good to have guys who are just they're not out of their element on the field and when live bullets are flying. So it'll be an advantage for us.
Jordan obviously came here as a freshman a few years ago as a safety and has blossomed, as we should say, into arguably one of the best playmakers in the conference based on his numbers last year. What's the key for him as far as being successful, you think?
Well, I think the key for both those guys, because of their style of play, is just staying healthy. They're extremely reckless. They throw themselves around. That's why they're effective. They make big plays because they're overly aggressive, and when they see something, they trigger. And so I think the key for those two guys is just staying healthy, not getting nicked up early.
Randy Rasmussen is a junior this year, stepping into that mix. You mentioned him in some shows earlier. Talk about Randy's progression since coming on campus here 3 years ago and where he is now.
Well, Randy's exceptional linebacker. He's a third starter basically. He's very effective when he's in the game. He's probably our bell cow in the special teams because of his attitude. He loves the game. He's a football player, and Randy's come in this year in the best shape of his life. He came in trim and fit, and is running well, is moving good, and we're excited about having him as that third guy to come off the bench whenever we need, and we'll use him situationally. And if he becomes a starter due to injury or whatever, we won't miss a beat with him.
Who are some of the other guys that are out there trying to make a push in that depth chart and get some playing time?
Well, we've got a couple of young guys that are coming up from last year's team. Logan Ole and a transfer we had back in from the spring. Daylon Seviano has looked good in camp. He's missed a couple of days with some nagging injuries. And then one freshman that's really gotten everybody's attention is Tristan Leaks from Canton. Very athletic, very aggressive player. Just he needs to be able to focus and channel his energies in the right direction, and then he'll have to adjust, to that game speed that he'll see that'll be quite a bit different than even practice speed. So, but we feel like we've got some capable guys coming up there. We need to develop some and have them ready.
As far as scheduling goes, obviously you had a practice yesterday that was somewhat altered due to the weather, which around here, the way it's been, I guess we can be thankful for the brief little rain shower that we got, but it did affect your practice time yesterday.
Yeah, it did. Before we go there, I left one guy off that linebacker list. It's really having a great camp, and that's Dylan Bench, a sophomore for us from Godley. He's really coming into his own, coming real comfortable back there, and he's a playmaker. He's a reckless guy that's not afraid of contact, and he's really having a strong camp. But yeah, the practice yesterday, we had initially scheduled it for under the lights. You had to move it due to a pep rally here on campus, so we had it back to our 4 o'clock slot, and we're not going to complain about the rain, but it caused the Thor guard to go off, and we were delayed for half hour, 45 minutes, and cut into our practice time yesterday. So, but the practice that we had was very lively. It was not by any means a typical first day of school practice. We were excited about that, and so we got a lot of things done in a shorter period of time, but get back in our normal routine today.
And just to remind everyone, 2 days from now, will be on Thursday evening, there will be a scrimmage between the Tigers and Nuevo Leon, a team out of Mexico. And you said yesterday it'd be a full game type scrimmage.
It'll be 4 full game quarters, yeah.
So invite everyone out for that, and Coach will speak about that a little bit more in depth tomorrow when we see you again. Okay.
Okay.
All right.